discuss the issue. So, Brooks, let me try to do some adjustment. You can take it from here. I will join you.
You say you are about to do some adjustment.
Brooks, are you getting me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Okay, Victor, how are you, sir? Victor Mame, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure again to be on Stream Vision and to be on the environmental talk tonight. Y- y- Yeah, but you are talking low. Please check your volume and see if it's okay. Okay, tonight will be a very important discussion that almost every Liberian would like to listen to. We are bringing a professor from the Nimba University. This professor studies in in Nigeria where he's doing his PhD. So he's the dean of natural sciences, the dean of College of Natural Sciences. So he will be enlightening our minds tonight on issue concerning the environment because our interest is the environment. So it will be a fascinating discussion tonight. I I believe almost everyone has been wishing to follow this show to hear from our guest tonight and share his expertise with us on the subject matter tonight. Our guest is not just an ordinary person; he's a professor, he's a teacher. Uh, Sincerely, he has been my lecturer before at the level of Nimba Community College at that time, where currently is Nimba University. So I have been knowing him for a very long period of time. He's a very good, uh, very sincere person that he's actually straight to the point when it comes to the subject matter. He's not just an ordinary person, which I believe the audience out there is expecting a very fascinating discussion from him tonight pertaining the issue. While our guest is still at the back, Victor Mame, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Are you getting me
Okay,
now?
that's good. Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay.
So how has it been? How is Nyanza, Rwanda?
Yeah, the answer
And
is
how is
cool.
the study process is going?
The answer is relatively kind, and by the grace of God, things are going on smoothly from our end.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
So we are still waiting for the rest of our panelists. We don't have much time to wait. We are still waiting for the rest of the panelists. If you are following us from any part of the world, from Liberia, from Rwanda, from Uganda, from Kenya, from every part of Africa, and even America, uh, Canada. I mean, we want to welcome you tonight on this particular show. You know, every Wednesday we have this discussion about the environment where every one of us live. It is very much important to keep it clean, to conserve the environment, to protect the environment, despite economic activities have to go on. So we must protect the environment and see how best we can preserve the environment for the future generation. That way the sustainable goal end up came in and then gave those mandates about how we will integrate the three pillars of the sustainable development. I have to do with economic growth. While you are maximizing profit, you must take into consideration environmental protection. And while you are carry on social inclusion and then provide social services to the community, you must also take into consideration the environment. And
Yeah.
then, which the environment is the last pillar that has to do with our environmental protection. So it is our paramount concern as emerging environmentalists to speak to this issue and see how best everyone can emerge to integrate ideas and see how best we can conserve the environment. I I believe tonight's discussion will be very much important, especially where the case study is directly in Liberia. Uh, ArcelorMittal, the world's steel giant company. Uh, I mean, though when people hear about this, they will feel that it will be a political discussion, but it is not a political discussion. But it is discussion, a constructed discussion that why ArcelorMittal is maximizing profit, ArcelorMittal has to also take into consideration environmental protection. And we believe the surrounding communities in the concession area of ArcelorMittal they have been experiencing environmental degradation based on the action of ArcelorMittal and their production from Yekepa, Nimba to Grand Baza, Buchanan. So it is important that we bring on a professor who knows much about this uh, to speak to us on these issues. So wheresoever you are following us from, I remain your host for tonight's discussion. Um, we are about to start officially in just 2 minutes. So if the other panelists are watching us, they just need to speed up and join us because we don't have any time to waste tonight. Because this topic is important and we would like for the information to go out there for the audience to consume it, for people who have interest in the environment to consume it, for people who even don't have interest, but we'll make them to have the interest, to build the interest for the environment. Because it's the environment, if the environment is not conserved, I'm telling you for sure, the average effect will count directly on you and I. So, so we must do everything possible to conserve the environment, to protect the environment, and even preserve it for the future generation. So it's a pleasure being here tonight, always on this show to discuss relevant issues concerning environmental protection, which we consider this show as environmental talk. Let's think green, let's act green, save life, and plan for and save the future, and then also save the planet. So that's our motto. Thank you, everyone, for following tonight, and we are about to start officially. Uh, Tata, please bring our guests on the stream, please.
Okay, sir. I've been do that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure again for us to be here. So, like I told you, we are about to start officially on the show. The discussion tonight is the topic is directly very short but fascinating. It's money and environmental degradation in Liberia, a case study of ArcelorMittal iron ore mining company in Yekepa, Nimba, specifically in Liberia. The focus point will be like this discussion will explore the complex relationship between economic development driven by large-scale mining activities or operations by ArcelorMittal and potential environmental protection measures that need to be put in place, or the environmental degradation that is happening there based on the activities. This discussion will center on specifically studied which is the ArcelorMittal in Liberia, examining the environmental and the socio the socio economic
Yeah,
aspects this discussion. Are you hearing me, Tato?
we are getting a feedback. We are getting a feedback from you.
From you.
Oh, okay. Probably
Another device is on. Someone is monitoring the show, probably near you.
sure my device. I think I just using one device. So if you have another device on, please turn it off. So let's have a group discussion.
Okay. Try. Let's see.
Is it
Let's see
okay?
something. Sorry.
Myself, I hearing myself. It seems there's something is going on.
Please, kindly mute yourself if you are not speaking. Victor, kindly mute yourself, please. And the guests, kindly mute yourself. Let's see
Yes, you
what
can
is.
mute yourself if you are not talking. Then when you are given the opportunity to talk, then you can
Okay.
unmute.
Okay. I think we're good. Go ahead, Brooks.
Okay, that's good. That's beautiful. I mean, appreciate everyone. We said this discussion will be examining the environmental and the socio-economic aspects, existing regulations that ArcelorMittal have been going by, or environmental protocols that people been going by in conserving the environment when they are maximizing profit, and then the pathways towards sustainable mining practices. So this is the discussion point tonight, and based on the expertise of our guests, we'll be able to learn more details about how, if you are carrying on mining activities, if you are maximizing profit, if you are carrying on infrastructure building, what measures you need to put in place to conserve the environment. So, and our guest tonight is not just an ordinary person like I told you. He's a teacher and PhD candidate, and this mine he's controlling department in the Nimba University, the giant university in Nimba County. So we will be able to learn much from him tonight. So basically, let's start with our official introduction. Victor Mame, please kindly introduce yourself to our audience tonight and to the guests. Just a few seconds. Yeah.
Okay, once again, good evening, everyone, and good evening to our good listener out there. I'm Victor Mame, uh, currently studying in the Faculty of Environmental Studies, Department of Rural Development from the University of Lay Advantage of Kigali. Currently, I stay at Yansa District, which is a southern province in Rwanda.
Okay, Victor, thank you very much. Tata, we are to you. Kind of introduce yourself for the benefit of our audience and the guests. We are not hearing you, Titus. Yes, you are
I
okay.
want to say, yeah, thank you for the time, and thanks to our followers, those who are watching from Liberia and other parts of the world. And I'm happy to be here today to sit on the platform with a lecturer, a professor who is, teaching people concerning environmental, issues. So, Liberia is a very rich country. Liberia is rich in a lot of resources, with mining being one of the key contributor to economic growth. But however, the environmental consequences of mining activities cannot be ignored, because we understand one of the major players within the Liberian mining industry is ArcelorMittal, which is operating in Yekepa, Nimba County. Yeah, we understand that they are contributing, yeah, to the economy, creating jobs, infrastructure development and other things, but it manages activities. It has raising a lot of concern when it comes to the environmental degradation, sustainable resource management. So it is good
Yeah.
that we are here today to discuss this
Mm.
issue, and I hope to learn more from the professor tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Title Bala, thank you very much for your brief introduction. My name is, let me introduce myself before I can give the respect to the guest. My name is Brooks K. Guanbeh. I am your host tonight for this discussion. I live in Kigali, studying at the University of the Adventist of Kigali, where I am doing my master in environmental economics and natural resource management. So it's a pleasure being here tonight to learn from our guest, who is a professor and a specialist in the field of environmental study. So we are to you, Mr. Konah. Kindly introduce yourself to our audience and to the panelists, and then give your expertise about the topic tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope you guys are getting me well.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
yes, we
sure.
are hearing you, but you need to a little bit labor your voice.
Okay, I hope you guys are getting me well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm overwhelmed with the different Liberians across the globe that are trying to get knowledge from the end of environment. So, my name is Samuel Konah Jr. I am the dean for the College of Natural Sciences, and I hold a bachelor degree in chemistry, a master degree in environmental chemistry, and currently a PhD candidate in environmental toxicology.
Mr. Conan, let me hold you
So
there.
when I saw the invitation,
Mr. Conan, let me hold you there. Please labor your voice. The audience would like to hear from you better. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so like I said,
Mm,
my name is Samuel Konah Jr.
mm. Maybe there's a technical problem from the end of our guest. Probably it might be a network problem,
Are you there?
which we cannot tell. Probably it might be. Yeah, yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, we are getting
Network
you now.
problem,
No,
which we cannot tell that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we
okay.
are getting you now.
Okay, it was, the call was, let's say the video call was interrupted by local call. Are you there?
Yeah, we are hearing you. Yeah, we are hearing you.
Okay, so like I said, I'm overwhelmed with the different group of Liberians across the globe that are trying to get knowledge in the field of environment. So I'm happy about that. And my name is Samuel Konah Jr. Currently live in Senikole, Nimba County, Liberia. I am the dean for the College of Natural Sciences. I hold a bachelor degree in chemistry, a master degree in environmental chemistry, and currently a PhD candidate in environmental toxicology. So when I saw the invitation from Brooks, I was happy and I was glad that we discussed this tonight. Though I was feeling feverish, but however, I'm a little bit better because I didn't want to turn down the invitation. So can we start now?
Okay, okay, Mr. Kuna. Thank you for your brief introduction. You can set out the stage. What do you make of this topic tonight?
Sorry, Brooks. Mame, yeah, Victor, can you mute yourself, please? I don't know where the feedback is coming from.
I am
Okay,
muted. You can see it from the
Yeah,
screen.
okay,
I am muted.
sure. Okay.
okay, it's okay, Tatos. Mr. Conan,
Yes.
we want you to sell us the stage tonight. What do you make of this topic? Money and environmental degradation.
Sorry, Brooks, we cannot go like this. The audio is coming but terrible. I don't know where the feedback is coming from. So for us who will not be talking, let us just give it ourselves and then let's give folks the chance to talk.
Exactly.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, like I said, when I saw the invitation from Brooks to discuss money and environmental degradation, very interesting. But we will just take a brief history um, with a specific case study with ArcelorMittal. Liberia has series of mining companies. ArcelorMittal is one of the biggest. We have MNG Gold that's in Bon County. We got some mining company in Kinjo. And then when it comes to ArcelorMittal, it was around the 1950s that iron ore was discovered in Nimba. And then the first mining company that came was Lanco. And after certain years of operations, Metal Steel came in and later switched to ArcelorMittal. Um, ArcelorMittal is currently mining iron ore in Nimba, specifically Yekepa. And the type of mining that they are doing is Class A mining. And mining iron ore basically has to do with open pit mining. That's what they are doing, blasting. And during the mining process, there are a series of chemicals that they are using, because what the guys are doing is that when they blast the iron ore, they use a whole lot of chemicals, and then at the end of the day, they will be able to crush because they have a crusher at the pit, and then after crushing it into a lower millimeter acceptable by the company, and then it will be transported by the train. But every mining activities has an issue with the environment. It has issue with the air, it has issue with the water, and it has issue with the soil. But what we keep pushing as a toxicologist is one health, which is a focus point of every environmental scientist. One health. What does it mean? Health of the environment, health of the plants, health of the animal. So if we're discussing health of human being, health of plants, and health of animal, th- those three different categories need to be taken seriously because we are interdependent. Human being depends on the plants for food. Human being depends on the animal for food, and the animal also depend on us, and the plant also depend on us as well. So we are interdependent. So at the end of the day, one health is our point of discussion where we look at the health of the plant, health of the animal, and health of the living being that is living environment. So back to Oslo mental activities. There's a group in Nimba called Nimomowa. They have been flagging out series of issues on the hazard that been caused by AML, which they have been affecting streams, rivers, and communities that are in environment of the mining, activities of AML. But like our country is so disheartening that it's difficult to talk about because those companies are actually protected. Even because when it comes to the social corporate responsibility, to some extent, they are responding to it, wherein they are focusing on the mineral, the MDA that talks about giving 3 million every year for the MDA for the social corporate responsibility to three different counties, Nimba, Bon County, and Basel. They are accurate with that. And then they have uh, some scholarship programs, and they do many contributions to the communities like Grand Basel, Nima. Sometimes they support the hospital, sometimes they support schools. But in as much as we are benefiting from AML presence in our country, we should not overlook the environmental impact that is caused by you, so that we can bore ourselves with too many things. Because if we actually dive into the topic, we won't end. So, like I said, when it comes to this, the economic benefit, yes, AML is paying tax and the government is depending on AML. AML is to some extent filing a social corporate responsibilities, wherein they gave $3 million to the three different counties, Nima, Bon, and Grand Bassel, and they do many
Oh my God, AML is giving some. Okay, he's back.
hello.
Yes, Mr. Kona, you are okay.
You are okay.
Okay, so they do many contribution, but in as much as these things are taking place, healthy life, healthy environment is equal to healthy life. When we live in a healthy environment, we are bound to be healthy, because most of the diseases that we come down with and then be diagnosed at the various hospitals and clinic, they are
I think you're facing a network
environment.
problem.
So let's go
Okay.
quickly to
Okay, I think he's facing a little network problem. That's why he's breaking in. So we hope to get him back actually, because the information that Mr. Kona is actually sharing with us tonight is important. Though he just giving the broad aspect, the overview of the whole discussion at the moment. Uh, Hoping to dive deeper into everything tonight. But the network is actually giving him problem. You know, being Liberia is one of the challenges when it comes to network. So we just had to be patient and see if we can get our guest back. Uh, okay, that he will be able to discuss the issue. While we are waiting for him, we just want to encourage everyone that is following Stream Vision tonight. We are sharing the show. Please help us to share our show on every other platform you have, that all will be able to benefit from this discussion tonight. It be on Facebook, it be on YouTube, it be on any other platform, WhatsApp. Please share our show. We are discussing issue concerning the environment, where we have our guest, Mr. Konah, a dean of the Natural Sciences faculty at the level of Nima University. He discussing money and environment. Money and environment, the degradation that is caused by money activities, specifically with the case study in ArcelorMittal, Nima County, particularly in Yekepa. This discussion tonight is actually important, which almost everyone is yearning to learn from him tonight and see how best he can propose some of those regulatory measures, uh, educate people on how sustainable mining can be done, when you are maximizing profit, you are carrying on blasting. You know, money like he started fine by saying they get a class A money that ArcelorMittal is carrying on. Though they are following some protocols and they carry on blasting. You know, when you blast, what happens? You disturbed the environment. You disturb those natural uh, resources that are within the environment, those biodiversity that live, those animals that live around there. You disturb their habitat, and it can lead to extinction. It lead to loss of some important species, and wasting some of those chemicals into water body, causing hazard, environmental hazard, causing waterborne diseases and other things. Comrade, me, this discussion tonight, we anticipate a very fruitful discussion from our guests tonight, because almost every person that has sent this show flyer to, they have been so excited to follow this show tonight because they want to make their own contribution. And that's the way that you can make your contribution when you follow. So while we are still waiting for our guests to rejoin, he's at the back. Please try to bring in. Please try to bring in. Titus, please try to bring our guests. Okay. Mr. Konah, you are back. You are welcome again.
Okay, so like I said, AML is doing class A money and they are doing open pit. Okay, let's talk about the biodiversity. AML is also doing biodiversity to some extent, but not sufficient. We say every money activities has effect on the environment, the component of the air, the water, the activities, the blasting process. The biodiversity process that AML is doing is not enough, like I said, because if we look at how
Okay, the biodiversity process that AMA is doing is not actually sufficient, which I captured that point. Titus, uh, what do you make of this topic while we are still waiting for our guests? Because this topic is actually important. Liberia also depends on ArcelorMittal, uh, due to the amount they're receiving from ArcelorMittal. So, okay. I think the guest is back.
so I'm back.
Yeah, I think the guest is back. Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, let's look at how AML transport their iron ore and what are the environmental impact that they are causing. AML most often they cover their iron ore with
Oh my goodness. It's a challenging moment tonight for Mr. Konah. He
It's
being
very,
stable.
very cool.
Yeah, he's being stable is actually a challenging problem tonight for us. And it's actually providing the information, but the network is the problem. So, Mr. Konah, you are
okay,
back. So, we want to hear from you.
yeah.
Mr. Konah, you are back.
Okay,
So, we want to
so
hear from you.
yeah, so like I was saying, AML do transport their iron ore through Nimba, uh, Bon County, and finally to Grand Bassa. But the means of transporting the iron ore has serious environmental problem. How? We have something they call particulate matters. Those are suspended particles that escape into the atmosphere and later, inhaled by human being. And then at the end of the day, it leads to some respiratory problem. So, but most of the ores that are transported by AML, the were twin buckets are all open. There is no tarpaulin. So as they travel along the three countries, those particles are escaping the twin bucket and were entering into the atmosphere. Considering that the
Oh my goodness. So yeah, yeah.
So let's just give him a second. I think he's
dropping,
back.
dropping, dropping. Hello,
Yeah, Mr. Konah, you can go ahead.
hello.
Yes, we are hearing you
Yes, we
for
are
now.
hearing you for now. Okay, so like I said, what are the different activities that AML is doing that is affecting our environment? I was just looking at the one that many people are overlooking, which has to do with the transportation of the iron ore. Like we said, iron ore before they are extracted, they can be blasted with chemicals, and then at the end of the day, the iron itself is a chemical. So when they are traveling with those ores in their trains, most of the buckets are now covered. And then we have something called particulate matters. These are particles that can be suspended into the atmosphere and inhaled by living organisms, most especially human or plants, and enter into the respiratory system. And those buckets will be open from Nimba through Bon County and Guanbeh. They are causing serious problem, and people are not taking notice of it because the average effect is very slow. But at the end of the day, if we look at the toxicology component of it, is that when those particles accumulate, bioaccumulate into our system, they can lead to you will be experiencing people who are living in the three counties and are living along the track. They may come down with asthma. They will
Yeah, Dr. Bala, Mr.
It's
Victor
just
Mami.
listening.
The
Yeah,
discussion tonight is very important, and the guest is actually driving to the actual point that we anticipate hearing from him. But the challenging issue here
atmosphere
tonight
and
is the internet. But the challenging issue here tonight is the internet. Yeah.
yeah, seriously. So are we there?
yeah, you can go ahead. We are following.
Are you guys following?
Yeah,
Are you guys following me?
Yes,
Yes, we are
sir. We are
hearing you.
getting it
We
fine.
are hearing you, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying that that component of activities that AML is doing, many people are not taking notice of it, but they forgot to know that we have particles that are leaving those buckets and which are also chemicals because the iron was blasted with chemicals, and then the O itself is a chemical. And as they going along the train track, and then those who are communities that are affected by the train track, or those communities that are along the train track will also be affected by those particular matters that are leaving the train bucket. Those things are not taken seriously because AML is a company that is hugely contributing to the country economy. So those things are not taken care of. They are being overlooked. So the next thing is that I though they are working on the road from Senikole to Yekepa, but Yekepa is too old to not have a quota by now. If you see the workers, while they are going to work and off work, you feel sorry for them. The dust. And in the dust, there are so many chemicals, there are so many compounds that are in the dust. And those dust can be inhaled by those workers. And at the end of the day, they become affected. But people are not taking notice of the thing. Particularly matters are very, very key because they can lead to very difficult disease condition that can sometimes be generic. Okay, so and the essence of discussing the issue is that we have to be concerned about environment because once we have a healthy environment, we'll have a healthy life. So ML is also affecting our people from the 2 points. So the issue about diversity, the issue of planting more trees, we need AML to support trees planting, though they are one way or the other to a very small scale supporting all communities in the affected range of planting trees. But it's not enough because trees need to be planted, and while trees need to be planted, when those particular matters are suspended into the air, the leaf of the tree will absorb them. They'll be able to clean the air. And then at the end of the day, so that we can be able to breathe in good air. And AML got gasoline. And some of the fuel can be, can produce carbon or sulfur dioxide. And
So I
Yeah,
think
I
I think I think our guests need to amplify his voice more, looking at the situation we are faced with. Let him put a little bit strength in your voice so that we can speed up because like the way we are
okay,
going on, like we're not meet up with our time.
okay.
Not
So
meet
yeah,
up with our time.
okay, so Mr. Kona, Mr. Kona, we will like for you to like based on the
Keep
internet
going.
problem we are experiencing, we would like for you to like spill out a bit if necessary, if
the network,
possibly.
yes.
Yeah, you can spill out a bit or you lift all your voice a bit. Yeah, so we can hear you better and the audience too to hear you better. And yeah, because you are discussing, you are actually on point,
Yeah,
and
it's
we
just
have
that we can be interrupted by the network, but
yeah, because yeah, and we are very sorry for that. And we have yeah, you can please go ahead.
the network issue.
Yeah, and we are very sorry for that. Gentlemen,
That's not easy tonight.
it is not easy. We
The
just we
network
just
is
need to
actually
really
troubling.
pray to God for the network to keep. I mean,
The
to
network is
reduce.
actually misbehaving.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Mr. Kuna. You can go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, we need more trees to be planted by AML to be able to clean our airspace because the number of particles that they are suspending into the air, the number of gas, toxic gas that are suspending into the air, carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or sulfur dioxide, because they have planks. AML have, AML has a crushing plank because once they blast the ode, they can first take it to the crushing plank and have it crushed before being transported as a powder. So AML is releasing too much into our environment. So we need them to plant more trees so that the trees can be able to clean our air to have a better, to have a safe breathing. And then AML2 has also a lab. What the lab does is that in every mining institution, there should be a lab. What they do is that they will do a pre-sample or a geological sample that will be taken to the lab to know the concentration.
Okay, gentlemen, while we are waiting for the guests to be back, let's try to be getting ready for our questions because I believe when the question comes, the guest will be able to respond to them, and then the direction you like for the guest to go in, you will be going there. The network is actually back. So while we are still waiting for him, Victor Mame, we need some information from you tonight. Okay, let's wait. The guest is back. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, if you are okay, you can go ahead, Mr. Konah. Oh my goodness. So let's hear from you, Victor. Let's hear from you, Victor, while we are still
Yeah,
waiting
so
for our guest.
yeah, it's that our guests really have to do some summary tonight because looking at the internet of and on, let's just do a summary. Yeah,
Yes, yes, Mr. Konah, you are live. You are live. You can go ahead, please. Oh my God, our country is not easy. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hello?
I think we see you on the screen now. You are live. You can go ahead. Okay. It's
Sorry, Bugs, do you have fan on? I think like you have a fan on because all the feedback is coming from you. Yeah, the fan is causing problems. So, folks, if you are watching, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Kona, you can go. Oh, yes, you can bring him on the screen for him to quiet. Bring him on the screen for him to quiet.
Okay, so like I was saying, every mining company has lab. And why do they build lab? They build lab to know the concentration, the amount of mineral that is present within a sample before blasting. Because to mine is expensive. So a company cannot just go ahead to mine. So they usually have lab that will be able to do the analysis of the geological sample. So the geologist will take sample of the different blasting point that they intending or areas that they intending to blast, and those sample will be carried to the lab and analysis will be done. And the analysis from the analysis or the chemist will be able to tell them that this sample A, B, C, D has X number of mineral concentration, and those sample meet our benchmark before blasting or mining can go on. So Nimba has always and usually been complaining that effluent or wastewater from the lab has been discharged into streams within the affected community. But I don't know to what extent or how far that investigation has gone, but they usually complain about it. And EPA is here, and EPA also monitoring them as well. But considering that we are from Africa and AML is immensely contributing to our economy, so only the country, only the government can tell what is going on. And then the next thing with the activities of AML is the sewage, the different waters from bathrooms, from toilets, from septic tank, and whatsoever. ML, like I sat in one of their meetings where they took uh, sewage from Buchanan to Nimba, and then Nimba Mawa flagged the issue, and I was part of that discussion. And they later took the switch to Buchanan. They said that they have a switch plank, and there are a series of complaints that we've been receiving from the affected community there that those things are not properly handled. They are said differently, and what is happening on ground is different. So sewage too is one of the environmental hazard that has been, you know, over the time and keep being dumped there. They are being affected by it. So these rural areas have to be communicated. Because a healthy environment is equal to healthy life. So since we are discussing one health, health of plants, health of human, and health of animal, we have to focus on the different environmental issues that we are faced with within our environment. So sometimes if you go on the internet, you cannot find any information or such on the different pollutions that AML is carrying on in Yekepa because the international company and they won't want such picture or communication to tarnish their reputation to scare the business partners. But in as much as they are so concerned about their business partners, they should also be concerned about people who got the resources. Their lives matter. Their lives matter. So these things need to be addressed. For me, I really don't like to put politics in environmental issue. I just feel that it's something that we can discuss to find a solution to it to reduce pollution. So there are so many.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. It's a challenging moment for us again. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So to summarize, or maybe to conclude, to recap, I said that the issue of transporting the products of the iron ore through Nimba, Bon, and Guanbeh has serious environmental impact. The particular matters are suspended into the air, and then dwellers along the train track are also being affected slowly. And then I the also talk about the different gases that the mobility process because they have planes, they have cars moving, the different gases that the company is emitting into the atmosphere is also an environmental threat. And I talk about the different sewage system that not properly operated, especially when it comes to wastewater from the bathrooms, from the sink, from the septic tank, and these things are things that need to be taken care of. We need a proper sewage system within Yekepa, seriously. And those things, they defended them. They said they have a sewage system. They take sewage from Buchanan to Nimba, and it was flagged. And at the end of the day, they said they have sewage system, and there where they're going to dump the waste that they're taking from Buchanan and so forth. So though they are helping our economy by means of employment, by means of paying tax, by means of contributions, and by means of catering to that social corporate responsibility, but they should also know that the environmental impact that are caused by them should be taken care of. Because people, the resources that been, mined by them, they are, inhabitants who those resources belong to. So they need to take care of them because environmental issue is now one person business because they are living here. Whatsoever goes into the environment that affects the environment, especially the air, will also go across. You
Okay,
may say that the water they are drinking, you know, is not affected, but others who are living in that environment who cannot afford the mineral water, you can also help save their lives too.
okay. I,
So
Mr. Konah, thank you.
I wait for any
Thank you.
question.
Mr. Konah, thank you. Have you concluded? Have you concluded?
Yes, yes, yes. I think
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
if more
beautiful.
question comes,
And
then we
okay,
can
that's
more
beautiful.
elaborate.
And tonight for sharing your expertise with us as it relates to ArcelorMittal operation in Liberia, particularly in Yekepa. I actually taking into consideration environmental protection. So the audience are listening to you tonight, and this discussion, people might likely take it to be like a political issue, but we are not looking in that direction. Like you rightfully
Sir,
place it.
sir, you can kind of mute your mic.
Yes, you can mute a bit. Why, if Mr. Kuna, you can mute. Okay, that's good. Are we good? Like I was saying, mental issue is actually highly political, but we environmentalists, our concern is not about the political aspect, but it's about advocating for the environment, for the health of the community, and for the health of everyone, and not just only the health of everyone, but the biodiversity that live within the environment, those natural resources that are there that the country depends on. They I mean, the mining company is focusing on one aspect of the natural resources, but directly affecting other natural resources and also affecting those biodiversity that live there. I mean, disturbing their habitats, and then some of those important species, those keystone, species that we depend on, those keystone species that we depend on, that can maintain the environment, that can make the ecosystem function well. Some of those species have been, they are going into extinction. Some of those species have been in danger, and some of those species habitat have been lost, and they have been hunted by, community dwellers based on ArcelorMittal operations in Liberia, particularly in that area. And then you rightfully place it that the transportation aspect of their operation is one of the key points that we need to focus on. The particulates matters that are emitted into the atmosphere that causing the adverse effect uh, 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 of adverse effect to the community, to the livelihoods of people, like bringing by what we call uh, the cardiovascular diseases that people in the nearby community, that those people experience. That likely there's a possibility that they experience it. Though other people in our setting, maybe plenty people don't just go to hospital, but directly they experience those things. Those heart diseases, those diseases from those particular matters, they experience those things. And then looking at the hospitals along the way, in those the concession area, the hospital, looking at GW Harley Hospital that is actually located on the main track of ArcelorMittal. We will come to that discussion. Before going further, Victor Mame, the panel, not the panel, but Mr. Konah has laying down the basis of this discussion. He has educated us much about ArcelorMittal operations in
True.
Liberia, particularly in Yekepa, and then those dangers that are related to their operation. What do you make of this discussion? And we would like to ask a question from you to Mr. Konah tonight.
Yeah, many thanks to our guest tonight. He actually talked a lot. I have learned so many things, and I just want to build on few principles. Then maybe I can ask my questions. So, one thing he talked about is the blasting aspects carried out by EML. So during the blasting aspect, you observe that the natural land will be disturbed. So in that blasting, you there will be a deep cut within
Mm,
the soil. Yeah,
mm,
so that also, yeah, that also it affects the livelihoods of those that live within that surrounding,
mm,
and also, yeah, wildlife. It destroy the habitats of wildlife, it destroy the ecosystem, it causes a lot of harms to our environment. So I
mm,
don't know if there are mechanisms that they put in place after the blasting, after the deep cut into the holes, what measures or what mechanism can be put into place to re uh, 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 furnish those lanes to replace the damage that will be caused, or
mm.
are they following the impact assessment?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I want
So
to know
that's a
my
question. Mm,
my question now be, uh does EPA have that capacity to carry on effective monitoring of those activities? Because at times what they do, most of the
mm.
big companies, they leave them with self monitoring. They say, okay, you have your system set to monitor your activities, to track down your environmental effects, and etc. So, testing the water content. Do EPA have that capacity to put in place proper mechanism in order to monitor and track down the environmental effects caused by those companies?
Uh, okay. So before I answer your question, there is something in toxicology called bioaccumulation and biomagnification. So sometimes those effects may not be noticed because we have low zero effect. Uh, those chemicals or those particular metals will be able to set because when toxic material enter your system, there is enzyme called or cytochrome P40 is the one that metabolize those toxic substances, and then they can be excreted through urine, through sweat, through feces, or through or exhalation. But in as much as that, some can still remain in our body. So when those toxic substances, those or heavy metals, when they enter our system, some store in our tissues, some store in our blood, and some store in our. So after a certain time or over time, the concentration can increase. After the concentration increase, it will that's why we refer to our or magnification. So it will increase, and then you'll be able to experience that. Oh yes, or with 10, 20 years, I've come down with this disease. So it may not be in a short period of time, and then those are metals or those heavy metal or those chemical have their lifespan. So the biomagnification there is where you have another living organism. For example, you discharge the waste, and then the fish or the animal come across it, eat it, and then you also eat that particular fish or animal. Then those mineral transfer into your system. Even the plants absorb it through the soil, and then you eat the plant. You will also get it, and that also take us to our food chain as well. So EPA has a monitoring system, and AML follows because I said they are international company, so they got series of regulations that they follow. But most of these things are symbolic. Most of them are symbolic. Even with the ammonia natural that they usually use, to blast the O. What the best practice that could be done is it's just common enough. You just plant more trees because the trees has the ability to absorb those particles that can be suspended in the air to give us a very good air or a breathing air. So what the trees will do is that they'll be able to absorb the particles, and then so that we can be able to inhale it. That's a common method of mitigation. Or those things, they say they are following it, but most of
Hmm.
them what
Okay,
usually
I
is.
Victor. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Konah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so to get straight to your point, EPA is also monitoring them, and then the AML self, okay, the AML, or the AML or herself has some different, environmental groups that do different monitoring aspect. But are they following the real thing? Are they doing the real thing? Is it something that is reliable, that can mitigate the environmental pollution that are caused by the company? That's a very big question. So only EPA can be able to answer this question. And then we should also consider that the huge economic impact that this company is playing on our economy in this country.
All
So
right,
most of these things are to some extent compromised, and then it is,
all right.
yeah, most of them are well compromised because they are huge or economic or contribution to our economy because they
Okay,
pay
Mr. Konah,
things
thank
that.
you. Thank you for the response. Mr. Bala, we are to you. We need your comment and if necessary, to ask question.
Yeah, okay. So again, thanks, Brooks. I've been following the discussion. The lecturer actually trying, but because of the network, he's doing his best to provide the necessary information that is needed. But my concern here is this. Arsenal Metal would do agree that they are one of the main players when it comes to um, our GDP, when it comes to the contribution that it makes to our GDP. We do agree, but despite of that, they are also emitting some toxic substances within the environment that we need to take into consideration. The act of trying to reduce those things that they emit into the atmosphere. So he was talking about the organization in that community that have been raising, some concern about some of the pollutants that Arsenal Metals is sending into the environment, most especially when it comes to the downstream that being affected, the water bodies that those community depends on, for drinking, to get some fish is other thing. And so is Arsenal Metal really having a waste treatment plan? I think we only showed it last time I asked the question. Because Arsenal Metal is a multi-millionaire organization, big institution within the world. It's not only in Liberia. So now the world is looking at sustainable development. So if you are undertaking a development or if you are undertaking a project, you should consider the environmental aspect, the economic aspect, and even the social aspect within your developmental. You should integrate those three steps that I just listed. It should be integrated within your in your development aspect when you are carrying on. So is Arsenal Meta really following this issue about the sustainable development goal? Do they really have a waste treatment plan? Because I think there are some people, probably you may not be working with Arsenal Meta, but there are other people from Nimba, some of your students that have been going in that fence. Arsenal Meta, do they really have a waste treatment plan?
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Konah can respond to that.
He just
He
went.
has gone. Yeah, but he will come back. He will come back to respond to that question.
Yeah,
That
he
question is
will be
actually
back.
important. It's
No,
actually
but
is one of the questions that are part of my list. So let him respond.
Yeah, when the issue was raised by Nimba, where AML took sewage from Bikeno to Nimba. So the sewage truck was arrested and detained by the police station, and I was fortunate to be in a discussion. Uh, they displayed that they have a sewage plank, and then we saw the picture on the sheet, and then it was politically controlled, and then from the picture that I saw, the plank is less effective if it is even operating. It's not something that can be depend on to continue switches from Buchanan and that of Nimba, because
Wow, network issue that serious problem tonight.
The system have been compromised.
yeah,
It's not easy.
yeah,
It's not easy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we
You know, we
we will
got
actually get that.
yeah, you know, it's not yet easy. And one of the areas too, even AML is even trying their primacy. I learned that Firestone as well. It's not easy to come across, you know, to go into that primacy, you know, to discover the different waste or harm that they are causing on the nearby creek there.
Yeah, Mr. Konah,
I,
Mr. Konah. I
yeah, I'm
think
trying to change my
we
location
have
because of the machine.
okay, okay. Mr. Konah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can change your location. Then you can respond to us. Actually, the answer I've been giving, Tatos, the answer I've been giving, they are not giving the opportunity to people to, I mean, to go into their premises and see if they have. But I believe EPA should be the right entity to answer this question. Uh, you cannot be operating in an area, giant company, giant steel mining company. You cannot be operating in an area, in a country. Then you can tell me, say you kept your operation area. I mean, how do I frame it? Not for people to go there and see if you have carried on infrastructure like providing waste management plant that you will use to reduce the improper
Dogs,
disposal of waste into
come
the
here.
atmosphere.
Dogs.
Yeah,
EPA,
let's get it from him.
EPA has the power to do that. The
Yeah,
Environmental Protection, the Protection Agency has the power. They has the power to do that. To enter the
that's what I'm
premises.
saying. So let's get Mr. Konah. So have you concluded? Because we have another question. Okay,
Yeah,
so
especially the part you were speaking about where the people don't allow
mm,
people into their premises. That I
eh,
didn't
eh,
really
eh,
get it clear.
yeah.
You know,
So
when you
Mr.
say
Konah, can
people,
you,
he's speaking about probably the ordinary people. You know that ArcelorMittal is a big
Mr.
company
Konah,
that a
can you
lot of
go ahead?
services.
Let's give the chance to Mr. Konah. Let's give the chance to the guest. Mr. Konah, please go.
We are not
Are
getting
you
you,
hearing
sir.
us?
We are not
He
getting you,
is
sir.
Yeah, I'm not
he's still
hearing
mute.
anyone.
He's still mute.
You are not hearing us?
Hello?
You are not hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. What were you saying?
Okay. Okay. I was saying
What did you say?
the question the question asked by Natos Bala whether ArcelorMittal has a waste management plant or waste treatment plant. But you were making like a clarity on something like they don't allow people to go into their premises. So we need little clarity about that. What were you saying actually about that?
No, I said that AML is even trying, because I learned from one of my friends who lives in Margibi, or especially around or Firestone or concession area, or where they are operating. They don't easily allow people to go closer to where they are, you know, discharging their waste. But for AML, People usually go there, and sometimes people go there for field trip and whatsoever. But for me, in the media that I talk about, one of my statements I made was no one will take care of Liberia besides Liberians. I feel that the issue with the environmental problem in with AML, with the level of pollution that they are causing, it is Liberians, because the company is solely and wholly operated by Liberians. Liberians are there, so they just feel that what they are doing is just okay. So I told them, I said it in the meeting when they were, environmental manager were there. I told them that this is Liberia. If we don't take care of Liberia, nobody will take care of Liberia for us. So there are Liberians who are environmental manager. There are Liberians who are working in the place. There are Liberians who are there, and I think those white guys can give them the money. They can do what they want to do with it and just play deaf ear to it. That's why sometimes I sense, because you can't have Liberians working in place and they are allowing the environment to be affected by them. So who can we or who can we shift blame to? We cannot shift blame on anybody, because those who
Me-
work in the company, they are not
uh,
foreigners. They are all Liberians.
okay.
So what then
Yeah,
can we
yeah.
say?
So
And people are complaining all over the place.
okay,
So
okay,
EPA
Mr.
can try
Konah.
their best, like I said. ML,
Oh my goodness, guys, we this discussion tonight appears to be very important, but the internet is actually uh, dealing with us negatively. So we actually hope to get a best from our guests. So Mr. Kona, as you are back, let us try to divert the the discussion to another place. I hope you are hearing me clear. Mr. Kona, I hope you are hearing me clear. This is very challenging for us. So guys, we really want to know tonight. We really want to know tonight because there are few questions that the audience will actually like to understand from the guest tonight. And we panelists on the show will like to understand from the guest tonight. You know, the
Yeah,
internet is actually embarrassing us.
yeah, yeah,
It's
Brooks.
actually embarrassing us.
Brooks.
Yeah,
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 we
Victor.
yeah, we discussing money and that of environmental degradation. So at least we should
Hmm.
stick to the aspect of land degradation. Those
The
land
way
that
I
are
want to
here,
divert the question, I mean the
yeah,
discussion to.
because those land were used by people that reside in those places, to do
Yeah.
farming, to do
So,
hunting activities, to carry on
hmm.
fishing, to earn
Okay,
their
Victor,
livelihood.
let me hold you
yeah,
there.
so let's manage with the
Mr. Kona,
network,
are you hearing
because
me now?
this too is
Okay.
Liberia.
Yeah, Mr. Kona, are you hearing us now? We have series of questions to ask Mr. Kona tonight, but
Yeah,
unfortunately for us, the internet has been the issue for the discussion.
yeah, but
Uh, the issue
we
for
can
the
be
discussion.
discussing among
So,
ourselves. Yeah. In the meantime, when he come, maybe he can add up to
yeah. So,
whatever
so
we.
Victor, one of the things that we need to understand tonight, uh, Mr. Kona being a lecturer at the Nimba University in the field of environmental study, not just a lecturer, but the dean of the College of Natural Sciences,
Not just-
uh, providing us information like this is actually important. But we will also like to understand in another direction because we environmentalists, we are so interested in protecting the environment despite you are carrying on uh, I mean, economic activities within the environment. But our interest, despite we focus on economics, I mean the economy growth, we focus also on the protection of the environment. So we will also like to know tonight, Mr. Konah. I guess you are hearing me. I guess you are hearing me. Am I clear to you?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Um, having discussed the transportation aspect of the iron ore from Yekepa to Grand Bassa, Buchanan, and then some of those particulars matters. They like you rightfully place them that they cause environmental issues, health issues like cardiovascular diseases and some respiratory diseases, which granted we know. And then you propose a solution that has to do with ArcelorMittal needs to plant tree. Planting tree is one of the key things that we actually capture tonight again, because if you plant trees, the tree will be able to absorb those emissions, the emission of those chemicals into the atmosphere, the particulates, the greenhouse gases that are being emitted from the the maybe the blasting, maybe the chemicals they're using, the gases they're using, those fossil fuels they're using for those blasting. The trees will be able to absorb them and then clean the air. Granted. And you say ArcelorMittal has a lab to do their testing and other things. And then one of the things I really want to know tonight again, you talk about sewage, transporting sewage from Yekepa to to uh to their headquarters in Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Yeah, to their headquarters in Buchanan. And a little man who doesn't know anything about
From
environmental
Buchanan to
issue.
Yekepa, I think it was from Buchanan to Yekepa.
Yeah, even it's vice versa from Buchanan to Yekepa or from Yekepa to Buchanan. That's threat that we are looking at. A little man who doesn't know about environmental issues or health issue, when he sees or she sees anyone doing such, they will be concerned. All right, and you serving as a dean for the environmental field. That means that because that's environmental field. The natural science is the environmental field at the level of Nimba University. The question here is, what do you think, or what the effort the NIMA, legislature, or let's say the NIMA leadership, in collaboration with the institution, with the university, what measures are they putting in place? Are they putting in place to see how best they can respond to some of these issues? I,
I'm not getting
you
you.
know,
You coming in broken.
oh my God, are you hearing me
I am
now?
not getting you. You coming in broken.
What? Yeah, that's why I'm asking if you're hearing me now. Are you hearing me now?
He gone offline.
Oh, yes, actually, my point here was considering whether they providing avenue for the student community to raise awareness on the
Sure.
issue of ArcelorMittal operation. You getting me now, Mr. Kuna? Mr. Kuna, are you
I
hearing me
didn't
now?
get anything from you. I didn't get a word from you.
Oh my
So
God.
can you please come back?
Okay, let me reiterate. Just phrase it very short. I said
He gone offline again. He's offline.
yes. I don't know. It's difficult for us tonight. Actually, yeah, I think he's back. He's behind. Tata try to bring Mr. Kuna on the stream. You hearing us now, Mr. Kuna?
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. I was saying balancing balancing community engagement. Let me just summarize this. Balancing community engagement and student participation to ensure that the local perspectives are considered in environmental management decision making. One opportunity ArcelorMittal and Nimba County Community College, in collaboration with Nimba leadership, are providing to students, particularly in the field of environmental studies, to educate and raise awareness about these environmental impacts or those issues that ArcelorMittal is causing to the environment, that directly affecting the community surrounding ArcelorMittal operations area. I believe you get the question. Oh my God.
Network to know is not actually doing us well.
Yeah, actually, it's challenging.
Actually,
Mr. Konah,
cool.
I
That
believe
was
you got
very
the
cool.
question from me. Did you get the question? Did you get the question, sir? Oh my God. Yeah. Victor, Tato Bala, it's actually important. It's actually important to integrate ideas to see how best we can we can contribute collectively and individually. ArcelorMittal operations in Liberia is affecting the poor. Let me just say in that direction. But the government is benefiting directly. You know, ArcelorMittal signed the first concession agreement, that agreement in 2005, and it was confirmed in 2006. They signed our first 25 years agreement. And after the 25-year agreement was exhausted or expired, they requested for another 25-year agreement. And when you read ArcelorMittal operations, even when you go online, you go on ArcelorMittal page, when you read about their operation, the benefit they are getting from Liberia, and what the bureau is benefiting is huge. So doing those things, you should also take into consideration the people who are directly affected. You know, if the environment is affected, the people who live within the environment, they are also affected. Transporting, transporting,
Brooks,
hoping, hoping.
Brooks,
Yeah, sir.
it would interest you to note that in 2005, when the lawmaker then were going agreement with AML, the the what MDA was 79 pages. So they only had 2 pages summarized. So most of them did not even read the 79 pages, but only the 2 pages that were summarized, they were most of them read. At the end of the day, some of them discovered that what was in the MDA was not helpful, to Liberians. So you see that kind of a life. Even the train traveling, if you look at the risk assessment, if you do the risk assessment, it's harder, it's a very huge risk for train to be passing through a town or a city. Considering that this one or this particular company has gone through series of train, derailment over and over. So people who are living, along the train track, it's just by the grace of God. The risk is very high. The risk is very high. So all the towns and cities that are along the train track needs to be, they need to change the town, or evacuate people from there, or maybe relocate the town, because it's a very high risk that trains should be passing through the city or town, and people are living in that same place. What if there is, a derailment? What if you know how many persons will be affected? Too many persons. So these things are not taken into consideration. People just let it be because quote unquote bigger hands. But they are never fair.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. Uh, I think the question I was asking, he making point, but the question I was
They got a
asking is
very huge
directly to
rate.
him. Uh,
But the question I was
yeah,
asking is directly to him.
Mr. Konah,
Yeah,
when you were
Mr.
offline,
Konah,
I was
Yeah.
trying to ask certain questions
when you were
directly
offline,
in your control.
I was
Yeah. So
trying to
that's
ask
why you propose some of those measures that ArcelorMittal need to take. Uh, that has to do with planting trees. Oh my God, planting trees and other things. Uh, Victor, is actually challenging for us tonight.
It's challenging. So like
Challenge.
what I want us to do, can we look at the degradable land aspects, how the livelihood of those people that have been
Yeah,
disrupted, and then after the 25 years when ArcelorMittal have left, how will that land, how will people survive in that surrounding in terms of earning their livelihood, carry on their fishing activities, farming activities. Everything will be disrupted
yeah,
after the
yeah,
25 years.
yeah, yeah. So you are right, Victor. You are right. Uh, you know, like we are rightfully placed it before. ArcelorMittal operation started in 2005, and the actual main operation when the agreement was signed, the MDA was signed in 2005, 2006, and they started that 25-year operation first. You know that they requested for another 25-year operation, just just or recent. So this is not a point, but our point here is our environmental concern, the people who are living in a conceptual area, they concerned about them. Let's see the GW Harley Hospital, the GW Harley Hospital in San Nicolas City. Victor, it will get you concerned that the hospital is on the main track, the train track. It's on the main train track. The the hospital doesn't have a thing like a wall to protect anything. That just iron, not just iron. Say they wire, how do I call it? They alley wire. They put around the hospital to the train
Yeah,
track, and the hospital
barbed
is
wire.
on the main train track.
Hmm.
And when the transportation is going on, transporting the iron ore from Yekepa to Gant, I mean not Ganta, but
To
Grand
Buchanan.
Bassa, yeah, to Grand Bassa
Hmm.
Buchanan. They pass right on the train track, and the particulars matter as all in the city. Not just let lead the hospital, but in the city they pass in San Nicolas
Yeah.
City itself. And the university is also on the
Hmm.
train track. The university is also on the train track. The land of the university reach right to the train track. I attended there before. But my concern is about the hospital, which sick people can be in the hospital when when the train is passing, it can shake the ground.
Hmm.
And then that Mr. Konah rightfully said the particulars matter from the transportation of the iron ore. Because the iron ore cannot they can
People.
close it, they can cover it. It can be open while the train carrying them. So Mr. Konah, since you are back, this is my concern. I'm asking you that as an administrator of Nimba University, balancing community engagement in those measures that we trying to put, you mentioned, and now where some of us might propose to ensure student participation in carrying out this information. What effort? Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yeah, I
I'm
said I
hearing
guess
you.
you are hearing me. I guess you are hearing me. Right.
Yes, yes, I'm
What
hearing you.
effort? What effort? Uh, ArcelorMittal and Nimba University are putting in place the collaboration or something like that that will provide students participation, especially students that are in the field of environmental study or the natural sciences, to educate people about the awareness of environmental issues concerning ArcelorMittal operations. And then even the institution herself, as the mother institution in Nimba County, are they providing some awareness or they have some connection with ArcelorMittal that they are contributing in that direction to for the safety of their people? As an administrator, I think it's necessary that you respond to this question, sir.
Okay, thank you. AML is a company that believes in maximizing profit.
Mm,
So, once upon a time, we try having an MOU with them from the standpoint of environmental science, and it said that it cannot have more than two MOUs with one institution. So we should be able to collaborate with those who are already having MOU with them, and there where the whole case died. And
mm,
again, we launched a tree planting project, and we invited the biodiversity department. One of them came in, and we even wrote them. We said that we want our students to do a field trip the current semester that is any, so that they can be able to see that waste management plan. But our invitation was turned down. But what the
mm,
college is doing, the natural science college is doing, is that we had a waste, or we had a 1 day training for the senior high school where we call a back to school waste management, or let's say oh, waste let's say waste management and vector-borne disease. So that 1 day training was conducted, and we have over 350 students from different schools, within Senegal attended. And we told them the different methods in collecting waste, in disposing waste, and then if you don't dispose of waste, how do they lead to vector-borne diseases? How do they lead to breeding of mosquito, breeding of flies, and what all of vectors that are used to spread disease. And the program was nice. So we been at the door of AML to see how they can support us, but they usually don't support or people that are not in agreement with them. That was the information that I got from them. So once they are not in MOU with you, they cannot support anything. And it's just because they believe in maximizing profit and they don't want to spend too much. Yeah, because if you should be able to integrate other activities that are in line with your scope or maybe with your agenda. Once it has to do a treat.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, wheresoever you are following us, we want to be thankful to you, and I also apologize for the poor network condition for tonight discussion from the angle of our guest. Actually, he's coming in, going out, coming in, going out. Due to the network condition, we cannot blame him for that. It's just about Liberia. We are very sorry for everything that is happening, but this discussion is actually fascinating, and we expect and we hope for more details from the guest, which he's providing them. But the network is actually the problem tonight, that he's coming in broken and going out and coming. So, Mr. Title Bala and Victor, we don't really have much time. the network has already taken much of our times. Uh, you know, it's so frustrating for the as the professor is saying. Uh, ArcelorMittal is not accepting uh, engagement with other parties like the mother institution in Nimba County where their operation resides or their operations are. So I don't know. I take into consideration environmental issues where the institution is into education and they have the courses, the natural sciences, environmental sciences taught there, and they cannot sit and see those emissions, those degradation causing to the environment going on, and they want to maybe join in hands with you to see how best everybody can work together and conserve the environment while you are maximizing your profit. And they turn it down, their requests and other things. You know, it's so frustrating, but it's not from the end of them, but it's just from our supreme leaders, from the government herself and the leadership that governs the country itself. So it's
So
challenging for us.
it's challenging
Mm.
for us.
So Mr. Kuna, you
Yeah,
are back.
Mr.
Yeah,
Kuna, you are back.
you can
Yeah,
try to wrap up with
try to wrap
your
up with
statement, and then you
your
try to like read
your
some
statement,
of
and
the
then you
comments
try to like
that have
read
been sent
some
there,
of the
maybe the
comments
questions, maybe
that
a
have been
necessary
sent
like you
there,
explained it,
maybe the
but
questions,
we
maybe
were
a
not able to
necessary like you
exhaust
explain it, but
all the
we were not able
questions
to
that we
exhaust
had
all the
on our
questions
questionnaire that you will be able to respond to due to the network issue. So you can go ahead. Yeah, that's the issue. So Titus and Victor, what you guys thought about this? And we are about to go off. We're just about to close. When
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Mm,
Brooks,
mm,
just as Mr. Konah was saying, in Liberia, they give you title, and then at times your title or your functions can be override. Most of the activities in Liberia can be highly political. It can be highly political. Like once when around my Barclay, there's a mining company that they got in Harcourt or somewhere in between there. Yeah, we had a lane in there before when I used to visit that place. The same issue with AML. The resident within that place. One time we visited the place during the dry season. When those trucks pass by you, the smoke. Let's say the doors that can be behind those trucks. It can really be easy. So, according to the citizen, the people agree that why mining the rock, there's a rock culture company in there, it's a Chinese company in that rock culture area, around that Bondege area.
mm.
The agreement was, yeah, they were to put quota on the road leading to where they have the company. But up to then, there was no effort made let's say, yeah, by the construction, let's say the mining company in there. You
And
see it?
what the government is doing about these things? What the
The
government is doing
citizen
about
took
this?
the citizen took a stand. That day I was there. They put dug big hole on the road to stop those trucks from moving in there. They put took phone. They called the representative. The representative went there, and then they just talked to the people, gave them small money. They put it there back, and then those boys and that were there, after collecting those small money, they turned their back. You seen it? And then the people truck started
we,
moving
we,
again.
we don't want to dive we don't really want to dive into politics, but environmental
Yeah,
issues is
actually.
also political issue. My lecturer once told me about it. Environmental issue is political issue. Like you need to advocate for the environment and advocate for the well-being of those people, advocate for the well-being of the ecosystem and the biodiversity within the ecosystem to see how best you can balance your economic activities or your social activities with the environmental protection effort. You know, it's so frustrating for institution, world giant steel mining company that is operating in the country, that you are opportune to be given 25 years, and after the 25 years, they added another year to it. Since 2005, you've been operating there, and you in muting the environment. The EPA sitting there, the government herself sitting there, the county authority sitting there. They are not taking stands to see how best you can consider the environmental protection law that govern the country environment, and you are just doing your work just because you want to maximize profit, to get your money and
So
extract the natural resources are there, to export them into your, just for your production, and you living
so
the citizens, the communities you are living in, with sicknesses, diseases, making our keystone species going to extinction. Nowadays, you cannot see, when you go to that Montocate, Monima, those species that they can maintain the forest, they are
mhm.
going to extinction. You will not see some of them anymore, and the government is sitting there, the county authority is sitting there, and no collaboration. I mean, the laws are there, but when they give you some more money, you leave it. You just say, you go ahead and do what you want to do. You destroy it and go. You destroy your money. You destroy everything. You go. You enjoy yourself. It's so disgraceful, and very bad for our country and the country,
Yeah.
actually. So, Mr. Konah, since you are
So
back, we will left for you to give your parting comment, actually, because we don't have much time again. And while you are giving your parting comment, we would like to just review comments here and encourage our followers to always follow our show, because we need to make their voices to be heard. This comment comes from Samuel N. Yakin. Samuel N. Yakin says, sir, you said earlier that there are some chemicals you've been used, maybe you want to say, by the company, that have been used by the company. Do you care to name some of those chemicals and the effect it has on the ecosystem? I think he responded to this. He responded to this question, but we don't have much time. But Mr. Konah, if you think you can respond to this question again briefly, you can do it, because we don't have much time in your parting comment. Okay, then I the other comment from uh Madame Felicia P. She says, I am following from Sunny Kole City, Nimakante. We actually appreciate you for following us tonight. We appreciate you, and you should always be there to follow us. And then Mr. Timothy said, Guano Gasserin, my own president, hey, Buza president. He says, I am Timothy Gasserin, following from Peace Island, right here in Congo Town. Thank you very much for following, Timothy, and you always one of our followers, and our who always follow us to share our show. We actually appreciate you. Uh, do you care responding to this question, Mr. Konah? Since you are back, what are those chemicals? Maybe the person want to take away this one to carry home. What are those chemicals? No way. So, gentlemen, let's try to be giving our parting comment when Mr. Konah comes. He will give a parting comment. Let's start with Tato Bala. Please give your parting comment.
So thank you, and thanks to the many Liberians that are following the program. You know, on that show, I'm feeling somehow because the explanation is not really going down, the way I thought it could because of the network issue. So we hope that we'll have the professor back one of these days. We'll have a favorable weather condition that you'll be able to discuss the issue, because there were a lot of information that needed to be provided, but because of the network, he was not able to provide us information. Even all the comments that people making, to really respond to them. There are a lot of questions we as a panelists we were having, but he couldn't respond because of the, off and on. So I want to say, the issue of environmental, protection is it should be everybody concerned, whether you are, the layman in Nimba or layman in Rewaji, because the environment one is been polluted, it affects everybody. So people should be able to work. You are talking about they don't even need to give the Nimba Community College maybe go ahead. They can organize their own environmental, protection organization that will be carrying awareness, going via radio station, speak the various dialects. So the people so that they can understand some of these things. We know that a lot of politics playing, that Liberia now, yeah, those things are clear. But it's the only country we have. Like the professor said, there are other people working, with those people. But and I was there when we were with East Nature Reserve. The manager for the environment is a Liberians. But what their input? I mean, when it comes to decision making, what are they really working on? What are they doing? Are they only taking home, the resources that they're taking from the company because they want to protect the company and then their own interest? Because if they talk too much, probably they might be sacked. So again, Liberia issue, it comes out, like friend may say somehow. So
Okay.
let us pray that God will help us. One of these days we'll get a good leader that will really implement the law, and then people should be able to follow the law so that Liberia can be a great nation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bala, for your parting
Thank
comment.
you.
Victor, we are to you. Please, in a nutshell.
Yeah, once again, thanks to our guest tonight. He said a lot, although we have a lot of disturbances from the angle of the internet, but he said what he could say for tonight. So for our environmental actors, especially EPA, they need to keep trying their best. We know at times their decisions can be override, they can be politicized, a lot of obstacle at times. I don't think they have that authority wherein maybe if they say if ArcelorMittal don't implement this, we'll close them down. I don't really think if they have that authority. So they too, from their angle, at times we should look at the challenge. At times they will fit, but they don't need to be. They don't need to give up. They need to keep trying. They need to keep putting in for environmental sustainability, because the environment adverse effects, it don't affect one person. It affects everyone in general. So you might say, "Oh, I don't live in Nimba. Oh, there are people that in Nimba, it is their problem." But you should know that it spread, even it reach at your doorstep. So we all have to try as we can do by engaging in the various environmental talks, educating our people. They don't need to give up. And then the government too really need to try their best to ensure that those company can put in those measures. Not because maybe you going there as an environmental expert, they will call you on the other side, they give you brown envelope to compromise. You see a lot of ill and wrong being done, but because they will call you aside, oh moment, this is a big company. If you expose this, people will look at us otherwise. These are some of the things that can bring the compromises. You go there, you see the wrongdoing, but you say, the people get named. If I say this against them, it will expose them, it will bring, so we just got to try our best. Environmental issues, it don't affect one person, it affects everyone. So let's keep doing
Okay.
what we can do. Let's keep talking, let's keep engaging until finally one of these days our voice will be heard. Thank you all,
Thank
and
you.
many thanks to all of our followers.
Thank you very much, Victor Mame, for your closing point. It is important. Let me make clarity on what you say when it comes to maybe the environmental institution, the EPA. The people can recommend. They can do their survey and then recommend to the government. Their findings government can take decision based on their findings. Government, they are asked of the government. So if you
Sure.
are asked of the government and you are into this particular area to play a role and recommend to the government and propose solution to the government for the government to take decision on it, you're not doing it. It means you're not doing anything. I'm not saying they are not doing anything, but that's our responsibility though. But it's important that we have Mr. Konah again on our show, because he needed to have provided more information tonight as it relates to environmental conservation or protection while you are carrying on your mining activities, particularly with ArcelorMittal. But the network did not actually give me the chance to go beyond what he planned to discuss tonight. We just apologize for that to our audience, and also to Mr. Konah for the interruption from the network. And he will let to bring also maybe one of these days to discuss the issue. And to the take home in my parting comment is important. I think Nima University, the Victor rightfully placed it, they need to voluntarily have maybe Victor or Tatos. They need to voluntarily have their environmental club that will be raising their awareness, because that's the institution that is offering environmental studies in that area. Students that are there, they need to be proactive, and then see how best they can go about giving out the information to the community as it relates to accidental operation as well, or even any other institution that is into maximizing profit, and then bringing environmental degradation to the community. They need to give those awareness, and they need to fund their club, on social media, on radio station, and be providing the information. We want to urge everyone to take responsibility to see how best we can collaborate, we can integrate ideas, and see when you are maximizing your profit, you are carrying on economic activity, infrastructure development, money activity. You should also take into consideration environmental degradation, because when you damage the environment, you cause pollution to the environment. The adverse effect will come on you and I. It will affect, or it will cause diseases. It will cause some of our species or biodiversity to be to go into extinction, to lose their habitat and embarrass them. So it's important that we all work together and see how best we can conserve the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for following our show tonight. This is the end of our discussion tonight, and we actually appreciate Mr. Konah, though the network already getting hard time, he did not come back to give a parting comment. We actually apologize to him, and then apologize to everyone for the poor network condition from his end. Thank you very much for our show tonight. Bye bye. We see you on Wednesday again for the environmental talk, and we see you on Sunday for our regular show. Thank you very much. Tada bada.